Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and good old Chi-Com Mitch, turtle-necked Mitch, right over there, Mr. McConnell, he has blocked the attempt to hold a standalone vote to raise the $600 worthless stimulus checks up to $2,000, something that would help many struggling American families, regardless of political affiliation at that point. There are many people that are struggling through no fault of their own. Of course, opening the economy would help them, but at this point, there are people hanging on by a thread that need to feed their children. Well, Chi-Com Mitch has put the kibosh on that. And you know, President Trump had something to say about it. He stated in a tweet, he stated that the Republicans must have a death wish, which made me start thinking about something. It made me ask myself, do Republicans have a death wish? Do I even identify with the Republican Party anymore? I think that's a good question that we all have to ask ourselves. We've been so focused on watching the Democrat Party implode that we never realized just how deep the swamp went. So deep, in fact, that we had toads, crocodiles, and water moccasins swimming in our midst this entire time. So we're going to ask that question, ladies and gentlemen, next. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and as I said in the intro, Mitch McConnell, good old turtle-necked Chi-Com Mitch, he has blocked the Democrats' attempt to hold a standalone vote on the $2,000 stimulus checks. And I've noticed through paying attention to you guys in the Parler feed and out in the universe there, that there's a lot of chatter, a lot of disagreement, a lot of angry people saying these checks are BS. Everybody shouldn't get a check. Screw everybody. We need to open up the economy. And I have something to tell you, and I'm a Republican. Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but there are people out there that can't feed their children right now through no fault of their own. Even if we opened back up, how do you pay those people if half this country doesn't want to go to their stores? This problem is not so black and white, so 1 and 0, so on and off. This is a very complex issue. The economy got shut down and we have to open it back up. I agree 110,000%. But it's still going to take a while for everything to get back to normal. And there are people that are about to lose their homes. There are people that have lost their homes. There are people that their spouses have killed themselves. People that have become addicted to heroin. People whose children have killed themselves, whose children have become drug addicts. All right, so understand something. I need you to understand what is going on. And before you freak out about the money, you need to be informed. First off, the people getting paid make less than $75,000 a year. Going up to like $150,000, it has diminishing returns. But, you know, you can't really afford crap at that price anyway. There are people struggling worse, but there are all kinds of different levels of struggle. You have to understand that the person who makes $10,000 a year struggles differently than the person who makes $30,000 a year. They struggle differently than the person that makes $60,000 a year. People have different problems at different levels. You just have to accept that, and we don't always understand those other people and their problems. All right, folks? So you have to know that when you're blanketing this entire thing as one way or another way, you're really not incorrect, but not looking at the entire picture. Yes, we need to open up, but yes, people do need help. And yes, people should be vetted. But I am happy that there is a cutoff price. And you have to understand as well why the president signed the bill. All right. Why he signed the package. He even said it himself. Look, he made the statement right here on December 27th, all right? He's signing the bill to restore the unemployment benefits, to stop evictions, to provide rental assistance, to add money for PPP to return the airlines back to work, and to help with the vaccine distribution, et cetera, et cetera. He didn't sign it because he wanted to fund gender study programs in Pakistan. He signed it because he had a gun up to his head and he needed to help American people that are struggling. And if you're not struggling as much as them, God bless you. But there are so many people that haven't had the luxury to work from home or go to work every day. And there's an entire forgotten blue-collar group of people that have been going to work since this pandemic. Look, I have a day job. I'm lucky enough to still be employed, but I don't work from home. I go to work. I'm still out there working. I'm working in empty buildings while people that make more money than me, that do better than me, stay home and work and send me emails wondering why I haven't gotten things done yet while they're in their pajamas. All right. We all have different levels of struggle. All right. And I'm using that extra money to do this, to run this organization so I can put this word out. I want you to know that when you approach this issue, you have to think about it like you're the president. You have to think about it with the overall picture in mind. Trump still has to care about everybody. All right. He has to care about everybody. And these people are never going to be able to contribute again to an open economy if they all go bankrupt and end up homeless. Think about that. Put two and two together, folks. Put two and two together. When he enacted that Impoundment Act, he said it, I believe, up here. It was in one of these. Let's see. Anyway, there's the Impoundment Act that he enacted. I don't remember the exact, what was it here? I'll look it up real quick. It'll pop right up in the search because I've researched it so much. Impoundment Control Act of 1974. That allows him to redline. And that's what he's talking about when he means redline. All those issues, all these funding issues are now going to have to be separately voted upon and exposed to the public for scrutiny. All of these people are playing with their voter base. There is no future for them. There is no future for them if they don't have the support of the people. So the more that gets exposed, the better. Trump had to do something. He had to make some sort of deal. He had to negotiate somehow because he's a populist people's president. He's not just your president. He's not just my president. Something we have to remember until this place absolutely falls apart. He's also their president on the left. And on the progressive, and on those brainwashed people that are listening to CNN that he has to try to convince that they're not hearing the truth. It's not an easy job. Could you imagine having that weight on your shoulders? So I want you to understand, and actually here it is, it's right here. As president, I'm demanding many rescissions under the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. The act provides that, quote, whenever the president determines that all or part of any budget authority will not be required to carry out the full objectives or scope of programs for which it's provided, or that such budget authority should be rescinded for fiscal policy or other reasons, include termination of projects for which budget authority has been provided, the president shall transmit to both houses of Congress a special message describing the amount to be reserved, the relevant accounts, and the reasons for the rescission and the economic effects of the rescission. All right. He signed it with that in mind, knowing that they have to now audit it and go line item by line item with all of the complaints that he listed in a special message that we're not privy to. It's a classified thing that's going to tell them exactly the money that they need to be taken care of. There are things that happen, things that go on behind the scenes, things that are formalities, things that are structured in certain ways that we've been doing for hundreds of years that you have no idea about, and neither do I. So you have to be patient and you have to let the process play out. It's a giant Game of Thrones 4D chessboard, folks. I hate to say it, but all the stories, all the things you read, all the TV shows, everything like that, they're all structured on reality. They all come out of a human mind. So it's very easy to understand how story structure plays out in the real world, in real life. That's how we're wired, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what's happening. So you're going to have to accept that. I'm sorry to say. Now, you still need to take care of things, prepare, take care of your neighbors, your friends, your family, the people that you care about. You need to spread the word, spread the message, keep waking people up, stand up for your rights, open up your shops, take off your mask. Of course, you need to do those things. But supporting the president, lending him our power, lending him our strength and numbers, lending him our support, letting him know through our actions, through how passionate we are about this. That is how we contribute to that while he is fighting this in only the way that he can, ladies and gentlemen, in only the way that he can. So if you want to know more about that, I also did a video. All right. Trump signs the $2.3 trillion stimulus, the $600 check bill, government spending bill. And this is why. It was episode 50 of the American Reveille podcast. This was the episode that came out Monday. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to forewarn you really quick. If you are going to listen to this podcast, you have to understand that the podcasts aren't like little informative documentaries. My videos aren't informative documentaries. I'm trying to deliver you this stuff in a way you'll understand, a spoonful of sugar, a good pill form, something entertaining, something emotional, something that you connect with so that you'll understand the information. You'll absorb the information. You'll be able to use this information. It'll be able to help you. I am not a documentary narrator. I didn't come here and do this to care that you're upset that I didn't get to the point. If I talk for 15 minutes about the direction of this company, it's for the fans of the American Reveille. It's for the members of the American Reveille movement. My compadres, ladies and gentlemen. And you know who you are because most of you are listening to it. Those people that don't want to hear about it, they're not our fans. Those are headline reading gerbils, ladies and gentlemen. Headline reading gerbils, newts, miscreants, mischievous trolls that have lost their bridge and are looking to find shelter under ours. Screw you. I don't need you. Trolls, I really don't care. I don't. And that's why I will do some of these little ramblings and some of these rabbit holes in my videos, because the fans of the American Reveille appreciate it. They connect with me. I connect with them. And I'm very thankful for that position. So with that being said, and that's really just, I wanted to put that little statement out there while I was showing this video. With that being said, it's going to tell you, this video is great. I let you know exactly why. I just had so many complaints about the things I talked about for the first 15 minutes in this video. I wanted to address it really quick. So trolls, fuck out of here. I don't care. Any heat is good heat, ladies and gentlemen. You want to hate on me? Hate on me. I'll ride it to the news, ladies and gentlemen. Ride it to the news. So let's finally get back to the McConnell blocking Democrats article. All right. Mitch McConnell, he's a jerk off. He's an asshole. He's a rhino. Chi-Com Mitch. Look it up. Chi-Com Mitch. Look it up. He makes a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of money. And he does not want to help anybody. He doesn't. He wants to create a bill that'll never go anywhere. And we're going to read about it. This is Christina Layla, Gateway Pundit. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on Tuesday blocked Schumer's attempt to hold a standalone vote on $2,000 stimulus checks. Senator Sanders and Schumer attempted to get consent from the Senate to bring up a measure that narrowly passed the House on Monday. McConnell signaled he would package the increased stimulus checks and tie it into a bill focused on repealing Section 230 and election reforms. During this process, which you know that won't go anywhere because Democrats don't want to ever do anything about election reforms. We got to vote them out before we can do the election reforms. Anyway, during this process, the president highlighted 3 additional issues of national significance he would like to see Congress tackle later, McConnell said, signaling a new package. Those are the 3 important subjects. He does not sound as good as I'm making him sound. The president has linked together. Let me try this. This week, the Senate will begin a process to bring these 3 priorities to focus. I know he doesn't sound like that. That's the best. You should hear my Denzel Washington impression. It's terrible. Anyway, Democrats will likely not support McConnell in his push for a new package because they don't support election reform and don't support repealing protection for tech companies. Senator Sanders on Tuesday called McConnell's push to package the $2,000 stimulus checks with other provisions a poison pill. He sounds like a fish. I'm sorry. A poison pill. President Trump, it's a trap. You know, the Admiral Akbar from the end of Star Wars. It's a trap. That's how Bernie Sanders sounds. Poison pill. President Trump reacts to McConnell's move to block the stimulus checks. Unless Republicans have a death wish, and we'll talk about that in a second, and it is also the right thing to do, they must approve the $2,000 payments ASAP. $600's not enough. Also get rid of Section 230. Don't let big tech steal our country. Obviously, he is the art of the deal mastermind, ladies and gentlemen. He says the big thing first, and then they negotiate. So everybody worried about them taking down 230 and nobody ever having freedom again on the internet. 230 won't go away completely. That's not how this is going to work. They're going to negotiate it to the parts that need to be changed. Don't let anybody lie to you and fool you and panic you. Don't let big tech steal our country. Don't let the Democrats steal the presidential election. Get tough. That's what Donald Trump said. And that got me thinking. This just came out a couple hours ago. This isn't an old thing. I just started thinking about this right now. Unless Republicans have a death wish, how is it that all of a sudden the party, and I'm a Republican, or I thought I was, the party that I thought I identified with, all of a sudden doesn't support me, doesn't want to help people. They said that they were all of a sudden the party of the working people. All these working people voted for Donald Trump. But the Republicans, the establishment ones at least, they're all up to their old games again. Their old big business, big tech, big everything games. It seems they're the exact same as the elites on the other side of the fence. So why the hell am I supporting a party that's doing the same thing, that's taking the same Chinese money, that's screwing the same people? It made me start realizing that maybe they're all in it together. So, as a Republican, what do we do? What do we do as Republicans? We're having an identity crisis, ladies and gentlemen. We were focused so deeply, so heavily, so just laser targeted on the left's demise, on them imploding, which they are. They are imploding. That we didn't realize that the same thing was happening to our party. And, you know, it's starting to feel like they all know the ship is sinking, right? Did you ever watch the movie Hook when you were a kid or with your kids? You remember Hook? Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman played Captain Hook. He had the mustache like mine. He could curl it. Look at that. Yeah, look at that beautiful curling right there. Smee, grab the gold, Smee. You know who I'm talking about, Captain Hook. Anyway, it's a Peter Pan movie. It was Robin Williams. God rest his soul. We could really use a Robin Williams right now, man. Christ. So, in that movie, there's a part where the Lost Boys are attacking, and all the pirates are grabbing all the gold they can and just abandoning ship, right? And the Lost Boys are coming up the ramps, and they have their weird chicken gun that's shooting the egg and the other one that's shooting the marbles, and the pirates are falling on their ass, and they got the Tabasco sauce and blah, is blinding the dudes, and Rufio. You remember Hook. The pirates are scared shitless, and they are abandoning ship. All right? Doesn't it kind of feel like the elite class of the Democrats, the Republicans, the old ass rhinos and even mid-grade old ass rhinos? Doesn't it kind of feel like they're grabbing all the gold and abandoning ship? Do they know something we don't know? Is it all falling apart? Their parties? And if it is, where does that leave us? Where does that leave us, ladies and gentlemen? More and more every day, I'm starting to think that we don't belong to the Democrat Party or the Republican Party. And the libertarians don't belong to the Libertarian Party anymore. And the conservatives don't belong to the Conservative Party anymore. I'm starting to think that we all belong to the Patriot Party, the MAGA Party, the real People's Party, not that socialist spin-off BS, a real party of the people, a party where maybe officials would pledge to have term limits, where we would fight for what the people wanted because the elected representatives came from the people. Maybe it's time to politically show both the left and the right just how powerful we the people really are. So folks, I really appreciate you watching this. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. All right. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, do that 5-star rating, folks. Please, please, please. 5-star rating. All right. Give me that like. Give me that appreciation if you would. And leave a written review. If you do that, it moves us up the rankings on Apple Podcasts and it gets us more views from patriots. It matches us up with patriots like you and then allows them to see the American Reveille, feel the American Reveille movement, wake up, or at least gain the tools to help wake others up. We're on a mission, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to fulfill it. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys allowing me to do this. And if you'd do me one more favor, if you're not already following me on Parler, please, please, please follow the American Reveille on Parler. The way to find me is go to the search bar, type in the @ symbol, the James Lane. That's the James Lane. That's where you find me on Parler. The website's www.americanreveille.com. That's REVEILLE. And you can find everything there. It's a central hub for everything. Videos, articles. We have great writers working with us. New content coming out almost every day. And we are growing, ladies and gentlemen. This is a movement and you guys are the biggest part of it. So please, please, please share everything you see from us. It's all word of mouth. We're censored to holy hell. So all of this growth, all of this wonderful, wonderful growth that we've had, getting more patriots involved, it's all been because of you. So I thank you guys so very much from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you in the next segment. Bye.